Welcome back to the channel, members. Right now we are in North Philadelphia. We're exiting the Fair Hill neighborhood and we're going to be entering the Kensington hood. We're going to take a drive in 360 virtual reality. We're going to take a quick spin, show you guys what the area looks like on a 61-degree day. We're going to be making this right off of the intersection of Cambria and front of Cambria. We're turning right, traveling eastbound on Cambria Street. We're passing Lee Street. On my right hand side we have Lee Street, a little deli, corner grocery. We're going to be paying attention for traffic because traffic comes over here. We have some tracks on the left hand side, railroad tracks. It's a lot of dirt, a lot of trash, a lot of debris down by those tracks. We're gonna turn left. We have Swanson Street on my right hand side. I actually lost a family member on that block before. His name was Marcus. He was known as Mr. Chili Willy. He used to drive a Chili Willy ice cream truck here in Philly. You know how they had Mr. Softies? Well, he used to operate a truck called Chili Willy. All right, we're gonna allow these two gentlemen in front of us to cross. They don't want to cross, they're giving me the right of way, so we're gonna continue moving forward. We're gonna turn left on Ella Street. We have a rest in peace Rob Memorial right there on my right. There's another rest in peace on the bottom right. Then there's another rest in peace over here on the left. That's 3 rest in peace memorials on one corner. We have 2 cats over here on my left hanging out on the chair. We're traveling about 6 miles an hour, closer to 5. I'm just letting the vehicle roll. We're coming towards a pretty active corner. We're on Ella Street. We're exiting the 2900 block of Ella. Ella and Indiana. We're going to continue moving forward. We're traveling about 4 miles an hour. Feel free to look around me at any given time. Move your camera device around. You can look up. You can even see the shoes that's on the line. We're passing Elkhart Street. We're now approaching Clearfield Street. Let's make this right-hand turn. Once we pass B Street, we're approaching B Street. Once we pass B Street, we'll officially be in the Kensington neighborhood. Technically, we're still on Fair Hill's borderline. B Street is what separates Fair Hill from Kensington. Although lifelong natives of this area probably wouldn't even be able to distinguish the difference. Got a bunch of trash, beds, debris on my right. If you look all around, you'll see plenty of trash, plenty of debris, plenty of random objects and paper. They built that whole entire block right there. A bunch of new garages, brand new. So somebody bought that empty lot and filled it from corner to corner with garages recently, within the last 1.5 years. We're at Rose Hill and Clearfield. I'm just cruising through the intersection. Cruising, I'm doing like 3 miles an hour. There's no cars behind me. You have somebody right there sleeping on the sofa. A young man sleeping on the sofa. He's knocked out. He has a cup of water, or I should say a bottle of water in his hand. We're at C in Clearfield. We have 2 young men on my left-hand side with face masks on, walking up the block now. That is part of the style in the hood nowadays, the face mask. The face mask. Now, in the winter, it definitely does keep you warm. In the summer, it provides protection from facial recognition. People can't see who's under the mask. So, a lot of the time when people are hanging out and they're doing something mischievous, or they just want to hide their face, now they wear the ski mask. We're passing Hurley. We're at Hurley and Clearfield. We're getting closer to the opioid crisis epicenter of America. We're about three blocks away or so from it. We're at Roar and Clearfield. We're going to be approaching the notorious McPherson Square, which was coined Needle Park. That's on our right hand side. There's a library on my right that I used to go to when I was a kid also. In the center of McPherson Square. We're traveling about, I would say, 16 miles an hour. I do have a vehicle behind me. We're gonna make this right-hand turn just so that you guys can get a little peek at McPherson Square. We're not gonna focus too much on McPherson Square today. But as we're driving by, look right and check out the activity. There's people walking, there's people, I see somebody smoking next to a tree, people sitting on benches. We're gonna be coming up to a corner where there's normally an abundance of people battling addiction out here. There's a whole mirror over there and there's a female looking into the mirror. There's a gigantic mirror, guys. I'm talking about like a bedroom mirror. So we're under Kensington Ave. On my right hand side, we have people falling asleep. There's 3 people falling asleep. There's somebody over here kind of dipping out too. That's 4 people in the matter of just one turn. We made one turn. We had 3 people over there nodding off and 1 female over here nodding off. We're traveling about 3 miles an hour. We're crawling at a very low speed. We have a few businesses that are still open, that are still trying to thrive. China Show on our right. There was a variety store on our left. Liquidations LLC on our left. Now when we come up to Clearfield, we're about 50 or so feet away from Clearfield. Look on our left hand side. Check out all the activity. And they continuously apply pressure on this corner to clean it up. And after they clean it up, a couple days to a couple weeks later, it looks like that. I can't count how many times I came under here and I said, wow, they did a pretty good job at cleaning stuff up. And then a week later, it looks the same way. But I will make note that, you remember how I told you guys that they're starting to paint under the L? The train tracks themselves, they're trying to paint the beams and all of that. They already started in West Kensington and East Kensington. They're working their way up here. So I think this section of Kensington may have high hopes, because if they start to paint this area, they might get out some of these people who are loitering and hanging out here. Look on my right. On my right, there's more people hanging out. On my left, on my right. So I know earlier in a previous virtual tour, I mentioned to you guys that just because people hang at the corner doesn't mean they're always loitering. Make your best judgment. You can compare and contrast, you know, residential areas where people are hanging on the corner, talking, chatting. Look at, they're wheeling right in front of us. Look on my left hand side. Somebody's wheeling a 4-wheeler right by us. You can distinguish what's going on, you know? So, you know, use your common sense. We're at Kensington and Allegheny. We're gonna be going by this group of pedestrians on my right hand side that are battling. There's a police officer on my left hand side right across the street from the whole entire shebang. Incredible, right? This is one of my favorite murals right here on my left hand side. says Kensington, and it has a youngster with a camera. I think that's pretty cool. We're passing Willard. Let's make this left-hand turn on Westmoreland. We have some youngsters on my right, and then they're walking a dog. Now, personally, if I was that child's parents, and I think that might be that lady over there, if she was with her kids in here and let them have the dog, I would tell them to pick the dog up, because on the next block there tends to be a lot of syringes on the ground, and I would hate for the dog to get poked with a syringe. On my right, you can read the painting that says "Fly, Eagles Fly." We're gonna be turning left on Westmoreland. Continue to wander around me. You guys can look on my left, look on my right. You don't have to look where I'm telling you to look at. You can look wherever you want. Passing Rand Street, Rand. We're at H and Westmoreland. We're approaching G Street. We're at the intersection of G and Westmoreland. That key on our left says Satan's Little Angel. So we just exited the 800 block of Westmoreland. We're next to the 89 bus stop and the 400 bus stop. There used to be a church open over here on my right hand side, but they closed down the church.